If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Lord Cochrane, full name Thomas Cochrane, 10th Earl of Dundonald, 1775 to 1860, was a highly influential and controversial British naval officer and politician. He is best known for his distinguished naval career, particularly during the Napoleonic Wars, and his subsequent political career. The action of May 6, 1801 was a minor naval engagement between the 32-gun xebec frigate El Gamo of the Spanish Navy under the command of Don Francisco de Torres and the much smaller 14-gun brig HMS Speedy under the command of Thomas, Lord Cochrane. El Gamo was captured despite being 4 times as large, with much greater firepower and a crew 6 times the size of Speedy, which had a reduced crew of 54 at the time of the engagement. In March 1800, Commander Lord Cochrane took command of Speedy. He had been operating in the Mediterranean and had fought many actions from its base in Port Mahon in Minorca. Speedy was cruising off Barcelona at dawn on May 6, 1801, when a large enemy frigate was sighted. The frigate, a xebec-rigged vessel named Gamo, commanded by Don Francisco de Torres and carrying 319 men, was armed with 8- and 12-pounder guns, with 24-pounder carronades. This amounted to a total broadside of 190 pounds, more than 7 times that of Speedy. Gamo had 22 long 12-pounders, 8 9-pounders, and 2 heavy carronades. Furthermore, Cochrane had only 54 men on board Speedy, having sent men away as prize crews for ships previously taken. Instead of evading the Spanish frigate, Cochrane closed on her, and at 9:30 a.m. Gamo fired a gun and hoisted Spanish colors. In return, Cochrane hoisted American colors. The Spanish hesitated, allowing Cochrane to get closer, hoist British colors, and evade the first broadside. Gamo fired another, which Cochrane again evaded, holding fire until Speedy ran alongside her and locked her yards in her rigging. Gamo attempted to fire upon her smaller opponent, but her guns were mounted too high and could not be depressed sufficiently, causing their shot to pass through Speedy's sails and rigging. Cochrane then opened fire with his 4-pounders double and treble shot, their shots passing up through the sides and decks, the first broadside killing the Spanish captain and boatswain. Seeing their disadvantage, the Spanish second-in-command assembled a boarding party, at which Cochrane drew off, pounded their mast ranks with shot and musket fire, before drawing in close again. After having their attempts to board frustrated 3 times, the Spanish returned to their guns. Cochrane then decided to board the Gamo, and assembled his entire crew into 2 parties, leaving only the ship's doctor to command and crew Speedy. The British then rushed the Gamo, boarding from bow and waist. The boarders at the bow had their faces blackened to look like pirates. The Spanish faltered at this, and were then set upon by the party that had boarded from the waist. There was a hard-fought battle between the 2 crews, until Cochrane called down to the doctor, at the time the only person on Speedy, ordering him to send the rest of the men over. The doctor was of course the only man left on the ship, and the order was given to make the Spaniards think they were outnumbered. At the same time, he ordered the Spanish colors to be torn down. Thinking that their officers had surrendered the ship, the remaining Spanish seamen stopped fighting. The British had lost 3 men killed and 9 wounded, while the Spanish had lost 14 killed and 41 wounded, with the rest captured, a total casualty list exceeding Speedy's entire complement. 9. The British then secured the Spanish prisoners below deck and made their way back to Port Mahon, Minorca. Finding that he had been beaten by such an inferior foe, the Spanish second-in-command asked Cochrane for a certificate assuring him that he had done all he could to defend his ship. 8. Cochrane obliged, with the equivocal wording that he had conducted himself like a true Spaniard. El Gamo was subsequently sold to the ruler of Algiers as a merchantman. In fiction, this battle inspired Patrick O'Brian in his novel Master and Commander, where, as the first major battle led by his main character Jack Aubrey, in a very similar manner, the brig HMS Sophie escapes from and then lures and captures the Spanish xebec frigate Cacafuego. Here are key aspects of Lord Cochrane's life and career. Cochrane entered the Royal Navy at a young age and quickly distinguished himself as a skilled and innovative naval officer. He earned a reputation for daring and unconventional tactics, often using fire ships and guerrilla tactics against larger enemy fleets. Cochrane's most notable naval victories occurred during the Napoleonic Wars, including the capture of Spanish and French warships. After leaving the Royal Navy, Cochrane served as a naval officer in South America. He played a crucial role in the naval forces of both Chile and Brazil during their struggles for independence. In Chile, he successfully led the Chilean Navy in several engagements against the Spanish fleet, contributing significantly to Chilean independence. Cochrane later served as the admiral of the Brazilian Navy and played a key role in securing Brazilian independence from Portugal. Controversial career and imprisonment. Despite his successes, Lord Cochrane faced controversy and political intrigue. Accusations of financial misconduct and speculation in the London Stock Exchange led to his court-martial in 1814. Cochrane was found guilty and faced severe punishment, including expulsion from the Royal Navy and a prison sentence. His political enemies played a role in tarnishing his reputation. Later political career. After his release from prison, Cochrane continued to be involved in naval and political affairs. He served as a member of Parliament and later as a member of the House of Lords. Cochrane was an advocate for naval reform and campaigned against corruption. Legacy. Lord Cochrane's legacy is complex. While celebrated for his naval exploits and contributions to South American independence, he faced controversy and adversity in his later career. In Chile, he is remembered as a national hero, and the Chilean Navy has named several ships in his honor. In the United Kingdom, his legacy remains somewhat controversial due to the circumstances surrounding his court-martial. Lord Cochrane's life was filled with both triumphs and challenges, and his impact extended beyond naval warfare to the cause of independence in South America. Thomas Cochrane, born on December 14, 1775, into a Scottish noble family, embarked on a remarkable naval career that would later intertwine with political intrigue. Joining the Royal Navy at the age of 17, Cochrane quickly distinguished himself with his natural aptitude for naval tactics and innovative thinking. His early experiences in the Navy laid the foundation for a career marked by daring exploits and controversy. Naval tactics and achievements. Cochrane's naval tactics were characterized by audacity and resourcefulness. He gained recognition for leading cutting-edge operations, employing fire ships, and using unconventional strategies against larger enemy fleets. During the Napoleonic Wars, Cochrane's brilliance shone through in numerous engagements, including the capture of Spanish and French warships. Court-martial and controversy. The zenith of Cochrane's naval career was marred by controversy and political machinations. Accused of financial misconduct and speculation in the London Stock Exchange, Cochrane faced a court-martial in 1814. Despite protests of innocence, he was found guilty and subjected to severe punishment, including expulsion from the Royal Navy and a prison sentence. The circumstances surrounding the trial and accusations would cast a long shadow over his legacy. South American independence. Undeterred by his tarnished reputation in Britain, Cochrane sought new opportunities abroad. In South America, he played a pivotal role in the struggles for independence in Chile and Brazil. Cochrane became a key figure in the Chilean Navy, contributing significantly to the country's fight against Spanish colonial rule. His innovative tactics and leadership were crucial in securing naval victories, and he became a national hero in Chile. Brazilian service and naval reforms. Subsequently, Cochrane served as the admiral of the Brazilian Navy, aiding Brazil in its quest for independence from Portugal. His naval expertise and strategic acumen contributed to successful campaigns against Portuguese forces. Cochrane's impact extended beyond the battlefield. He played a role in establishing the foundations of the Brazilian Navy and advocating for naval reforms. Political career in Britain. Following his service in South America, Cochrane returned to Britain and transitioned to a political career. Elected as a member of Parliament, he became a vocal advocate for naval reform and an opponent of corruption. His experiences and perspectives informed his legislative efforts, and he continued to influence naval policies in Britain. The legacy of Lord Cochrane is a multifaceted tapestry of triumphs and challenges. While celebrated in Chile as a national hero and remembered for his contributions to South American independence, Cochrane faced a more complex reception in Britain. His court-martial and the controversies surrounding his financial dealings left a mark on his reputation. Lord Cochrane's life encapsulates the tumultuous and dynamic era of the Napoleonic Wars and the struggles for independence in South America. His naval exploits, innovative tactics, and contributions to political and naval reform stand as testaments to a man who navigated the treacherous waters of both war and politics. Despite the controversies that surrounded him, Lord Cochrane remains a figure of historical significance.